When you strip away branding and look at what actually shows up in lab reports, the differences between Mobil 1 Extended Performance 5W30 and Pennzoil Ultra Platinum 5W30 start to emerge in the numbers, not the slogans. Mobil 1 markets up to 20,000 miles of protection, while Pennzoil leans on its Pure Plus gas-to-liquid base oil for cleanliness. Both claims sound strong, but when independent tests, ASTM sequences, and thousands of real-world used oil analyses are stacked side by side, the numbers start to reveal patterns most drivers never see. Wear metals, volatility losses, additive depletion, small differences that don't show up in marketing claims but can quietly shape how your engine ages over time. So instead of opinions, this is a breakdown built entirely on data, third-party lab results, product sheets, and real engines pushed thousands of miles. Engine protection performance. Starting with wear protection, in ASTM D4172 4-ball wear testing, third-party comparisons, particularly those compiled by enthusiast-backed datasets and published by labs like Southwest Research Institute, show wear scar diameters for both oils falling in a very tight range between 0.38 and 0.45 millimeters. Mobil 1 Extended Performance often trends marginally lower, around 0.38 to 0.40 millimeters, while Pennzoil Ultra Platinum appears closer to 0.40 to 0.43 millimeters. That difference is measurable, but it is small enough that in real engines, both are operating well within modern API-SP wear protection thresholds. Aggregated UOA datasets from Blackstone Laboratories and community-driven tracking on Bob is the Oil Guy show Mobil 1 Extended Performance often produces slightly lower iron wear numbers over extended intervals, typically averaging 8 to 12 ppm over 8,000 to 10,000 miles, while Pennzoil Ultra Platinum frequently falls in a similar but slightly wider range, around 10 to 15 ppm under similar conditions. At the same time, Pennzoil's higher molybdenum content often correlates with marginally lower friction-related indicators in shorter intervals, although these differences are subtle and not always statistically consistent across all engines. Now, shifting to deposit control, where Pennzoil's marketing claim is most aggressive, the Sequence 5G and TEOST 33C test results give more context. Data pulled from Shell-published technical sheets, yes, company-funded but aligned with ASTM methodology, show Pennzoil Ultra Platinum achieving TEOST deposit weights in the range of 10 to 15 milligrams, which is considered very low. Independent comparisons, including PQIA-referenced data and third-party summaries, place Mobil 1 Extended Performance slightly higher, often in the 15 to 20 milligram range under similar conditions. Sequence 5G sludge ratings for both oils exceed API-SP minimum requirements, but Pennzoil frequently scores closer to the upper cleanliness band, which aligns with its GTL base oil claim. However, used oil analysis trends from large community datasets like Bob is the Oil Guy show both oils maintaining insolubles below 0.3% even after 7,000 to 10,000 miles, suggesting that in real-world conditions, both are effectively controlling deposits, with no statistically dramatic separation. Total base number is where Mobil 1 Extended Performance begins to separate more clearly. VOA results from multiple labs consistently show Mobil 1 EP starting with a TBN between 10 and 12, while Pennzoil Ultra Platinum typically starts closer to 8 to 9.5. That initial difference becomes more visible in extended UOAs. In aggregated user-submitted reports analyzed by Blackstone, Mobil 1 EP often retains a TBN of 3 to 4 even after 10,000 to 12,000 miles, while Pennzoil Ultra Platinum tends to drop to around 2 to 3 over similar intervals. This doesn't mean one is failing. Most labs consider 1.0 the condemnation limit, but it does indicate Mobil 1 has a slightly larger alkaline reserve for long drain intervals, which directly supports its extended mileage marketing claim. Volatility, measured by NOAC under ASTM D5800, is another area where the numbers tell a clear but nuanced story. Pennzoil Ultra Platinum typically posts NOAC values around 6.5 to 7.5% based on product data sheets and confirmed by independent VOA testing. Mobil 1 extended performance usually comes in slightly higher, around 8.5 to 10%. Lower volatility means less oil burn-off at high temperatures, and here Pennzoil does show a measurable advantage. However, both are comfortably below the industry threshold of 15% and even below the more stringent 10% benchmark often associated with high-performance synthetics. In used oil data, this translates to slightly lower top-off requirements in engines prone to consumption when using Pennzoil, but again, the difference is incremental rather than dramatic. Looking at oxidation and thermal stability, the ASTM D2272 RPVOT testing provides another numerical comparison. Mobil 1 extended performance frequently records oxidation resistance values in the range of 180 to 220 minutes, while Pennzoil Ultra Platinum typically falls between 160 and 200 minutes. These figures come from a mix of manufacturer technical data and independent verifications. The spread suggests Mobil 1 has a slight edge in resisting oxidative breakdown over time, which correlates with its higher TBN retention in extended drains. However, TEOST-based oxidation deposit formation tests show Pennzoil maintaining slightly lower deposit mass under high heat conditions, reinforcing that its base oil composition behaves differently under thermal stress. When you step back and look at all these metrics together, the pattern becomes clear without needing any interpretation bias. Mobil 1 extended performance trends slightly stronger in TBN retention, oxidation resistance, and marginally lower wear scar results, while Pennzoil Ultra Platinum shows consistently lower volatility and slightly better deposit control in specific lab conditions.
Viscosity and flow properties.
If the first set of data showed how these oils protect an engine over time, this next layer reveals something more subtle, how stable that protection actually is when the oil is pushed to extremes. Because on paper, both are 5W30, but in lab conditions, they don't behave identically. Looking first at viscosity index, which measures how much the oil thins out as temperature rises, both Mobil 1 extended performance and Pennzoil Ultra Platinum sit firmly in the upper synthetic range, but not at the same level. Mobil 1 extended performance typically shows a VI between 165 and 170 based on product data sheets and VOA confirmations from labs like ALS Tribology and Polaris labs. Pennzoil Ultra Platinum often tests higher, usually between 175 and 180. That difference is not theoretical. It reflects the base oil composition. Pennzoil's GTL base stock, which is part of its Pure Plus marketing claim, inherently delivers a higher VI, meaning it resists thinning slightly better as temperature climbs. This is one of the few areas where the marketing claim aligns very closely with measurable lab data, although both oils already exceed what's required for API-SP performance. Now, when you move into high-temperature, high-shear, or HTHS viscosity, the numbers tighten again, but the implications become more critical. HTHS viscosity measures oil film thickness under real engine stress, high load, high temperature, and tight clearances. Independent VOA datasets and manufacturer disclosures place Mobil 1 extended performance at around 3.1 to 3.2 millipascal seconds, while Pennzoil Ultra Platinum typically lands between 3 millipascal seconds and 3.1 millipascal seconds. The difference is small but consistent. Mobil 1 trends slightly higher, which indicates marginally thicker oil film under stress. In practical terms, both exceed the 2.9 millipascal seconds minimum required for GF6, but Mobil 1 leans toward durability under load, while Pennzoil leans slightly toward efficiency. Shear stability is where long-term behavior starts to separate from fresh oil data. ASTM D6278 and Kurt Orban shear tests simulate how viscosity modifiers break down over time. In controlled lab testing and supported by large-scale used oil analyses from communities like Bob is the Oil Guy and datasets processed by Blackstone, Mobil 1 extended performance typically shows viscosity loss in the range of 5 to 8% after extended intervals. Pennzoil Ultra Platinum often shows slightly higher shear, around 6 to 10% under similar conditions.
That gap is not dramatic, but it appears consistently across both lab simulations and real-world UOA trends. For example, multiple 10,000-mile UOAs show Mobil 1 dropping from a fresh 11.0 centistokes at 100 degrees Celsius to around 10.2 to 10.5 centistokes, while Pennzoil often drops from about 10.5 centistokes to roughly 9.5 to 10.0 centistokes. Both remain within grade, but Mobil 1 holds its viscosity slightly better over time, which again supports its extended interval positioning. Cold performance introduces another measurable difference, starting with pour point. Pennzoil Ultra Platinum frequently post pour points around -45 to -48 degrees Celsius based on ASTM D97 testing in both Shell technical data and independent VOA reports. Mobil 1 extended performance typically comes in slightly higher, around -42 to -45 degrees Celsius. The difference is only a few degrees, but it reflects the same base oil advantage seen in viscosity index. Pennzoil's GTL base stock flows more easily at extremely low temperatures, which aligns with its cleanliness and purity-focused branding. That said, both oils are far beyond what most real-world environments demand, so this advantage is most relevant in extreme cold climates. The cold cranking simulator test provides a more precise measure of this difference. ASTM D5293 evaluates oil viscosity under startup conditions at -30 degrees Celsius for 5W rated oils. Pennzoil Ultra Platinum typically records CCS values around 4,000 centipoises according to Shell's published technical data sheets, with independent lab confirmations showing values in the low 4,000 to 5,000 centipoises range. Mobil 1 extended performance generally falls in a similar but slightly higher band, with independent testing reporting approximately 4,900 to 5,000 centipoises. Lower values indicate easier cold cranking, and Pennzoil consistently demonstrates a modest advantage here due to its GTL base stock. Both oils remain well below the SAE maximum limit of 6,600 CP required for the 5W classification, ensuring excellent cold start performance in most real-world conditions, though the small numerical edge favors Pennzoil in extremely low temperatures. So when you line up all these flow and viscosity metrics, the pattern mirrors what we saw earlier, but in a different dimension. Pennzoil Ultra Platinum consistently demonstrates slightly better temperature adaptability, higher viscosity index, lower pour point, and lower CCS values, while Mobil 1 extended performance shows slightly stronger resistance to mechanical breakdown, higher HTHS, and better shear stability over time. Base oil and additives comparison. Once viscosity behavior under stress is understood, the next question becomes more fundamental. What exactly are these oils made of, and how consistent are those ingredients when you look beyond marketing language and into elemental analysis? Both Mobil 1 Extended Performance and Pennzoil Ultra Platinum are marketed as full synthetic, but that label alone doesn't define the base oil chemistry. Mobil 1 Extended Performance, based on ExxonMobil technical disclosures and corroborated by VOA interpretations published by labs like Blackstone and Oil Analyzers Inc., uses a blend of Group 4 PAO and Group 3+ base oils with small amounts of Group 5 esters for seal conditioning. Pennzoil Ultra Platinum, on the other hand, is built primarily on Shell's GTL base stock, which is classified as Group 3+, derived from natural gas rather than crude oil. Shell's Pure Plus branding emphasizes this difference, and while it is a company-funded claim, independent volatility and VI data we already discussed indirectly confirm the high purity of that base stock. What does not show up clearly in public data is the exact PAO percentage in Mobil 1, because ExxonMobil does not disclose it, but multiple VOA interpretations suggest it is not a pure PAO formulation, rather a mixed base oil system optimized for cost and performance balance.
Now, when you shift from base oil to additive chemistry, the differences become easier to quantify because VOA elemental analysis gives hard numbers. Across multiple independent VOA reports from labs like PQIA, Blackstone Laboratories, and consumer-submitted datasets compiled on Bob is the Oil Guy, Mobil 1 extended performance typically shows molybdenum levels in the 70 to 90 ppm range, while Pennzoil Ultra Platinum often comes in slightly higher, typically between 80 and 100 ppm. This modest difference is fairly consistent across batches and recent years. Molybdenum acts as a friction modifier, and Pennzoil's marginally higher concentration aligns with its efficiency-focused formulation strategy. However, Mobil 1 offsets that with a more balanced additive spread, often including boron in the 80 to 120 ppm range, while Pennzoil frequently shows significantly higher boron, typically 250 to 350 ppm. Looking at detergents and dispersants, which are critical for cleanliness and long drain intervals, calcium and magnesium levels provide another measurable contrast. Mobil 1 extended performance commonly shows calcium levels between 1100 and 1200 ppm, with magnesium often present in similar or slightly lower amounts, typically 600 to 800 ppm. Pennzoil Ultra Platinum tends to use a comparable mixed detergent system, with calcium in the 1100 to 1200 ppm range, but magnesium frequently in the 700 to 800 ppm range. This balanced approach to calcium-magnesium-based detergents has been observed in multiple VOA reports and is believed to be part of a strategy to reduce low-speed pre-ignition risk in modern turbocharged and direct injection engines. Phosphorus and sulfur content, which directly affect emission system compatibility, also stay within tightly controlled limits defined by API-SP. Both oils consistently show phosphorus levels between 700 and 900 ppm in VOA testing, with Mobil 1 sometimes trending slightly higher by about 50 to 100 ppm, depending on the batch. Sulfur content is less commonly reported in VOA, but is generally inferred to be low in both formulations due to modern additive requirements. These numbers align with catalyst protection standards, and neither oil deviates significantly enough to suggest a fundamentally different approach in this area.